So I was watching an exercise video last night. I kind of cruise around, see him, gives me ideas and just whatever. Anyway, so I was watching this pretty famous celebrity trainer, and was watching her do. It was a 20-minute HIIT workout, and part of it she was doing push-ups, and I had to stop it and show Michelle because pretty much every one of my clients does push-ups better than her, and at least in my point of view, anyways. And one of the reasons is it was kind of I think it might have been a bit of an ego thing for her, but she wanted to do push-ups up on her toes, you know, the regular like we say guy push-ups versus a girl's push-up where you're on your knees. She was flaring her elbows out and doing partial reps. She was going down about that far. And so that it gets to me for a couple reasons, because being in the Army, we've done so many push-ups, and when you're doing a PT test in the Army, if you don't go all the way down, you don't get count. That rep doesn't count. So you'd be doing push-ups sometimes, and the drill instructor, you'd be 1, 2, 3, and if you didn't go all the way down, he'd just stay at 3 until you went all the way down. And they would have their hand on the ground, and you had to touch their hand with your chest for that rep to count. So that got me kind of thinking about, when you're doing any of the exercises, use correct form and go through the full range of motion. So if you're going to take the time to do a push-up, do a good one. Have your elbows flaring out, that makes it easier. And it's harder on the shoulder joint. If you come down with the elbows right next to the body and come back up, that keeps the head of the humerus really tight inside the clavicle joint, so that it's not stretching when you're coming out like that. It's better, but you also get more work, and it's harder on the triceps on the back. So any exercise that you're going to do, go through the full range of motion. When you're doing curls, you don't want to swing it and kind of just come halfway up. And if you're doing whatever the weight is, 10 pounds, I can curl 10, nice and slow. Keep the muscle under tension, and you're going to get the most reward from it. If I'm using a really light weight, I'm going to go very slow and make the muscle be under tension the whole time. Okay? There's a couple times when you can cheat, but that's mainly for really building size. Bodybuilders, there's some tricks when you do partial reps, and you're going to cheat a little bit so you can really enhance the negative or the eccentric contraction. But if you want to work on bodybuilding, that's a whole other discussion. If you're doing tricep extensions, it's a really easy one. Really tightens up the back of the arm. You just extend it out, let it come back. You're just flexing at the elbow. The upper arm isn't moving. What happens to a lot of people is it's really easy to kind of just start swinging the whole thing, and you're letting everything move. You're not getting much work on it. Okay? You want to slowly extend it, let it come back down. Now, I understand if you're just starting out, some of the form and stuff and your range of motion is not going to be as good. So use the correct weight. Like tricep extension, you're really isolating the muscle, so you don't need to use a whole lot of weight. 8 to 10 pounds is a lot of weight for the tricep extension. A lot of people are really surprised. This is just a little 5-pound bar. When you do lateral raises to work on the shoulder joint and tighten up the deltoid and make it big, 5 pounds is a lot of weight once you isolate that tiny little muscle. So use the correct weight. You don't want to use too much weight, and then you're having to throw it up, and you're going to create damage inside of the joint. Trust me, if you do these correctly with 5 pounds, 10 to 15 will be burning your shoulder. You'll feel it for sure. Body weight squats. If you're capable, when your hips and your knees, because you want to work on flexibility the whole time, you do a body weight squat. Don't kind of half-ass it. Go down as far as you can. Feel that burn in your leg, and then come back up. Hold it on each side of it. Hold that contraction a little bit. Come back up. Slow down. Use better form, and you're going to get more out of your workouts, okay? If you have any question about any specific exercise, just send me a PM or comment on the video, and we'll address it, and I'll show you. I'll show you to her if it's really easy to explain in words. I will. Otherwise, I'll make a video for you. All right. Have everyone has a good night, and if you have anything else that you want addressed, just ask me a question, and we'll either address it with a video or I'll type you a message. Okay. Have a good night, guys.